I just need to do some testing on my sound. I forgot to start talking. Oops. Forgot to start talking. Oops. There we go. Yeah, working. That's good. I think it's important for me to talk to myself and then have the audacity to vocalize those conversations openly while like streaming it, especially as I get older. I want to be able to go back and reflect to hear what I'm thinking about and what I'm concerned with and focused on. And yes, there's some hubris in that, but there's also some interesting elements too, like to go back in 20 years and hear what I was blabbing on about, to see where my art has, how my art has progressed or regressed, all of it. I also, today's objective, I'm actually doing like I was streaming earlier and I jumped back in because I really want to focus on creating work that comes together quickly. I don't mind some belaboring over certain things, but I also want to really see what I can do with these art cards, because there's just so much personal overlap and intrigue for me with these. But part of it is because of the last few cards I was doing, the last few little mini paintings, they took hours, and I just don't, I think that's kind of missing the objective. The objective is to create some wacky, wild shit, be completely free, while still feeling excited about what I'm producing. So can that be accomplished? Or do I have to labor over something for hours in order to feel like it's worthy? And then on the flip side, it's like I also want to hit these price points that are easy for everyone to just mess around with, and like it's just all fun. It's not like an investment. You're not like, it's just more, let's have a good time. Which is not the best strategy for me as an artist, to be honest. Like, I want to create work that demands a certain value. So when you create these art, like mini art paintings, I'm kind of ejecting from that whole premise, which I think is, on one hand, is kind of a terrible move. On the other hand, really fun and exciting. So I'm just going with it. And I keep shouting out core samples for putting me onto the ACEOs, because I've always been a huge mini painter. I go through crazy phases where mini paintings mean everything, and I just dive in pretty like head first. So mini paintings have always been something that I've been not only really interested in, but that I've invested time and energy into. And so with these ACEOs, these mini art cards having like a resurgence or some intrigue, even if it's a fad, it's just such a good alignment with me, with my personality and what I like to paint. And also knowing me, like, I don't know if this will last another week or another 2 months or all the rest of the year. All the rest of the year is very unlikely. But I'm always open when I dive into an idea. I really don't try to set too many parameters around it. I just let it go. I let it ride and see how long. If it lasts a year, great. If it lasts 2 weeks, great. It doesn't matter so much. But just dive in head first and like commit, like, okay, I'm painting these mini little fuckers and let's go. Here we go. And so we're into like day 5 or 6 now with these. And I've said this before on other streams. Like I really, in a perfect world, I would push and push and push and try to get some big whales, some of the big artists, some of the big fish to go, yeah, I'll paint some of these little cards, these silly, stupid little cards. And then we kind of create a trend and something of value, and like make art collecting fun like Pokemon, make art collecting fun like, and accessible, and like where people are trading them. And imagine a young kid buys a card for $25, $100, and then they resell it for $500, and playing in that whole game and that whole, adding that to the allure. And some people just want to collect art, just like, hey, I want an original piece of art, and the only way I can get this artist is these small art cards, because they're the only thing that is accessible to me as far as price is concerned. And even if this idea doesn't pick up, so scratch all of that. I just like painting small. So if there is some sort of like desire right now for small pieces, that really just works in my favor. And part of the reason why I really like working small, which I haven't done for, like I said, many times, but for 4 years I haven't painted small like this. So I just thought it was like really overdue. So any opportunity for me to grant myself to, hey man, paint small, let's go. Here we are. And I think now, because there's a bit more, when I was painting before, there was less guardrails. Like I was just doing it for me. But then when I found out, when Core Samples told me, yeah, they got to be art card size, like 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And people treat them like trading cards. Oh, so fun. So fun. And this is kind of the closest I can get with the camera to the piece. It's hard to get this camera like not to even also stay in focus and stuff because of the way it's set up. The video looks further away than the camera is, like a few inches away, but it looks like it's farther away. I'm not sure how to fix that. It's essentially as close as humanly possible while I can still paint and while it's still visible. Okay, now let me go back to what I was saying is the whole point of this painting, and even why I went live, is because like I have a bit of pressure on myself. Hey, dude, just like crush it out, crush these out. Don't sit on them too long. The objective, the assignment, that's the word I'm looking for. The assignment is crank this out. I give you permission just to be completely stupid, completely silly, crank these out. That's my only, that's the only instructions for the assignment today. So I thought, okay, that's worth going live because let's see what happens. I got a portrait of Chandler Bing as we've already left the station. Like I'm just looking at Chandler Bing as kind of an idea of a guy wearing a suit. So it's guy wearing suit. And then we've already kind of departed from any sort of, he doesn't have hands in this reference, and he's not leaning like a DJ. And we're using acrylics right now because they'll dry in moments. And the reason why I use acrylics is because it's really easy. It's like drawing like with a pencil. But I'm not drawing with a pencil, I'm drawing with acrylics. So it's the same idea of as a pencil, you draw something and then you can erase it. Then you draw it again and you can erase it till you get your figure in place, just like you would with a pencil. And then, so I paint and then I can add and subtract. Then once I got my subject laid out, for the most part, like kind of just like the idea, the right angle, like so far I like it. It's good enough. Then once this dries a little bit, then we go back over it with oil paint. So even doing what I'm doing right now doesn't necessarily really help me, like adding this higher value in the middle. It's more so just getting the shapes right, like the hands, the shapes of the hands. And I'm using my first tier of reading glasses as well. I keep advancing my reading glasses. So right now it's just like a minor increase in prescription. So just standard reading glasses you get from the dollar store. And then I increase them, especially for mini paintings. Then slowly we will increase I bought a new set yesterday, like with a higher prescription, nothing like plus 2.5, I think, which is like, if I look at anything further away, it's blurry, but the actual painting is really crystal clear and even kind of magnified. And I love taking advantage of that. That's fun. I really enjoy that new experience of being old and needing glasses. And then using those glasses to my advantage is really, it's like the highlight of my day. So we're really locked down now. I think we'll give him a suit, the standard suit. Remember, this is kind of more for me than you. The assignment is to crank this out. I want a loose, absurdist little mini painting. I don't want, we can add the details in. It's not about no detail. That's not the point. But you're just going with the flow and then not trying to change its course of direction. We're just leaving it how it is. Okay, so get that suit in there. The background would be purple, and we'll add a little shadow perhaps. I like his little stupid hands. They're great. Really lock in that suit. It doesn't have to look good. It's not about being correct or accurate, but it doesn't need to look good. It needs to be intentional, rather, especially for something like this abstract. It's surreal. You can hear my brushes tinging because, again, we're using acrylics. So you just clean them with water. And I use fresh brushes. This is a newer brush. I buy them in bulk, really fine pointed, just synthetic brushes. And I go through them pretty, not crazy. They last a month or so usually, at least. Some of them I had for longer. But they're just basic, like, I'd say they're higher degree than like a dollar store brush, but they're nothing fancy. But they do got a nice tip, and sometimes I'll pull one out of the pack of, I think, like 50, and it's garbage. It's just not. It's not. You just got to grab a new brush. Okay. Well, let me pull out some brown rather than brown and black. Brown and black. This would probably be the middle of his hair color. I don't care if it looks correct, but it needs to make, it doesn't need to be mixed, it just needs to look good. We're gonna get his face in here like that. Funny enough, sometimes if you really try to paint Chandler Bing's face, like really like put some effort in, you end up with stuff like that. How cool is that? Like, that's weird. Sometimes when you don't know what to do, just try to paint something as it is, and that what comes from you actually trying is a goddamn nightmare, which is exactly what we want. Like, hey, just us know now. Like, this is me trying to paint Chandler Bing as best as I can. And what came from that? A horror movie. And what do we want? A horror movie. That's toned down. Nothing. These days I try to stay away from like gore. I'm not a gore guy, but I like weird and kind of deformed and silly. Cute and weird is the cute and weird. Even his hands don't need to be accurate. They just need to look like gave them some attention. That even looks like a fin, like a shark fin. But okay, so I'm happy with that as my I thought it was Dr. House. Yeah, sure. Honestly, it's whoever you want it to be. Especially at this stage, right? There's no attachment at all. It's just, I want to paint and I want to use my skills and I want to try to make something from nothing. Yeah, Dr. House would. I've kind of painted him kinda before, years ago. Great character. Never like an all-out commitment, but that's a good one. House. Good call. I can even pull up a reference photo now. Like we can swap. That's what I typically do. Is like I use one reference and then we'll swap over. If a ghost. Oh, Beetlejuice and Kramer had a child. Yeah, now you're talking my language. Beetlejuice and Kramer juice. Kramer juice. You win. Red Bandit. Kramer juice. That should like be a drink at 7-Eleven. Kramer juice. Just apple juice, but it's called Kramer juice. Okay, I gotta stop because we need to switch to oil. The oil's where the magic happens. Again, not for all of us. Some artists are fantastic with acrylics. But again, this is just my underbody. This is just me getting out my character, finding out, sure, in this case, where the highlights are, where the light hits his face. Are these hands or fins? Nobody knows. Where do I get that Batman pick and Superman pick? Well, I got a lot of Batmans and Supermans, but my Etsy is where to go. I'm going to be dropping some prints soon. I dropped a print of Catwoman last week. I got some original paintings of Batmans up there, I believe. Got some Superman, like really kind of abstract Superman stuff, I think. I'd have to check. But I got some stuff kicking. I got Superman's tough. I'll never call it Superman because of IP reasons. Like when you post something on Instagram, you can call it Superman, but when you post it on Etsy, it's got to be called, like, I think I call it, like, I can't remember, but I usually have to like even the Hamburglar, I called him the Burger Thief. So which makes it kind of fun, which I enjoy, but like that's how dramatic shit has got. Can't even call him the Hamburglar. I get McDonald's lawyers telling you to take shit down, which is fine. Like I don't care what side you are on it. Whatever it is, it's absurd and makes you have to think. Like it makes you got to be an artist. So the Hamburglar is the Burger Thief, which is kind of funny, which I actually kind of appreciate. Burger Thief. Wait, I'm DJing, Mom. Mom, come hear my set. Bat bro. Right. Winged hero. Man Bat was one of my, I did that one like in 2020. Man Bat. This is how long this has been going on for. Like in 2020, I had like just, okay, fine. If Batman's taken, we'll just call him Man Bat. Mom, come hear my set. I made some new tracks. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Hey, we all got to start somewhere. As long as you start, it's okay that your mom's your only audience. It's fine. It's a good start. That's why I was harp on about social media, because when I grew up, we didn't have that option. It wasn't like you could just throw something out there. And even YouTube took a long time before it became like somewhat reasonable for yourself to do it. Before, it was just like lunatics posting on YouTube. It felt like beneath everybody, or just like so subhuman. And then it's like, now it's God. But even before that, all you really did have is, hey mom, check out my new painting. You couldn't just throw something on social media, even for 10 people. That just wasn't even a thing. That's why I always don't really have the same attitude as some of the other artists that just hate social media with a passion. They still see it as beneath them, which totally understand. That's not even the fight. But for me, my stance is, wow, if 50 people can see my work by just posting it, you know how cool that is? Never had that. Before, you'd have to like go on I remember painting on the sidewalk. I was painting on the sidewalk because there's no social media. Right, should we give them some macaroni? But just think of that. Like, that's what you had to do for people to see your work. I had no skill set, no like knowledge, no technical ability, no schooling, literally throwing canvases like downtown in like a small town, well, no, mid-sized city, and look at me paint. Couldn't paint even what I have right now. It would have took all day to get where I am now. Why? Because there's no social media. So it became like a thing. Everything became like an ordeal. In order for people to see your work at any level, it had to be like a thing. You'd have to schmooze and talk about it and tell your doctor, I'm a painter now. You should check it out. Maybe you can come over and see it. Like it was so, just think about it. It was so absurd before. Just think if Van Gogh had a fucking social media account while he was alive. Even if he was a nut. You know how many nuts are online? Pretty much like 85%. Just complete nuts. But people see their work. It's like such a big difference to how things used to be. I can't emphasize that enough. So I just do not have the same disdain for the fact. Yes, it can create a lot of problems. That's not what I'm talking about. Yes, there's a lot of downside. Yes, there's a lot of silliness to it. But again, if you just say, hey, there's 50 people that can see my art when I post it, I never had that. I didn't have that. I had to put a panel or sort of a canvas on the sidewalk and have people like step over me. Now you can say, oh, we should go back to that. I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to set up a canvas on the sidewalk. I'd rather post on Facebook any day of the week. Like I didn't enjoy that. I'm not like a performer, despite me performing for you right now. But this is different, right? Like I don't mind performing like this. Okay, now I think we're gonna go shading here. So let's calm this down. Let's go here. Calm you down. And then I want to move over to oils. Just do a little. Too much paint on here. Macaroni necklace, Kramer juice. Let's bring you up. Aww. Remember, I think my biggest takeaway, which is so true from thinking out loud with you guys is just try to paint something. Just try to paint a friend's character as best as you can, and you will end up with a goddamn nightmare. If you ever don't know what to paint, I always say paint Batman. We've read a lot, like, I don't know what to paint Batman. Now I think we're evolving. I don't know what to paint a friend's character. And try your hardest. And you will come out with something so insane. And you can thank me later. All right, so we kind of got, I think I'm even ready to swap out my glasses. So remember, I go from these glasses, you can kind of see it like that, right? Those glasses are like 1.25s. Then I jump up to my new ones. I even labeled them. Then we jump up to my 2.5s. I think, let me see. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, I see it totally different. Wow. It's a little aggressive. Like, they're pretty intense. But I can see all my little marks on the... Yeah, it's like a new perspective, a new pair of glasses, quite literally. The calm charismatic, great to see you, man. Yeah, go well. Tyrone, what's cooking? Get to it. Great to see you. Just having fun these days on here. Trying to figure out my life through streaming and painting mini paintings. The only thing holding it all together. But great to see you. Have a great day, man. Eloquent mess. I like your take on social media and art. I do enjoy being able to share my work and reach a few people and getting compliments from all over the world. I taught mini art class once. That's cool. After we're done, one of the students took a picture and shared one of her platforms, and I thought to myself, yeah. There is so much downside to social media. We could all go on about it. But if you really look at it just from the lens of an artist, we never had it before. You really had to do some wild stuff to get out there and get exposure. You had to do like a lot of performative nonsense. You had to do so many, like, you know how much bullshitting you had to do to, like, even that scene from the Basquiat movie when he's talking to Benicio del Toro, and like just the hustle that went into like selling art. And that's at like a higher level, but just even like a low level selling art, you literally like have to like bring people over to your home, or like carry it with you like in a briefcase. And again, there's some nostalgia for that. That sounds fun, kind of like carrying a briefcase full of art. But in any other time, it's just absurd and silly. And it's not going to help you. It's like opening up a briefcase on the train station and just like a hope and a prayer that someone goes, wow, you're the next Basquiat. Yeah, that's happening. Never. Now, you can get a lunatic who's just half decent at painting, and you know, they just start posting online. You find your little niche, you find a little community. People doing the same kind of stuff, the same kind of lunatics online. You don't even have to like expose yourself that much. You can just keep to yourself and post when you want. So that's the upside when it comes to art. I'm not talking about the downsides. We all know it. I just have a lot of friends that just despise it and are against it, and at all costs. Whereas for me, I'm a recluse and a hermit. I don't want to go out and carry a briefcase and show people my art on the street, or like bother people. And I'm not on the planet to do that. I just want to paint my room and pretend I'm something I'm not. and just hide away and then create little animals on paintings. Just cleaning off my oil palette. So I'm ready to transition. And yes, I think even too, like, you're going to get people like, that's garbage, that's terrible, it's horrible art. But then you might even get some real criticism, like, oh, have you thought of this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this technique? Have you used this medium? You get some people that are half decent at giving you real criticism that you're like, oh no, that sounds great. So yes, social media can be painful. But again, all of a sudden you go from 50 people seeing your work to 100 people. It might take a year, but I can't think of any other. The other option is like signing up for what I used to do too is outdoor art shows, right? That would be the next leap from painting on the sidewalk and making like an exhibition, a performative thing, painting on the sidewalk. Then you would kind of level up, put your art in a coffee shop, which, is still valuable. Still, I would recommend it. Highly recommend it, now that I say it out loud. Coffee shop art. I've sold art from coffee shops back in the day. So that's good. So that's like a thing. And then you would go do like art fairs and art shows, or you would show up, there are bands playing and you put your art in the background, or then you start schmoozing with real estate agents and maybe and so on and so on and so on. You just keep doing that, and you talk to galleries and maybe do a group show. All that stuff is still valuable. You don't lose. I'm not saying you have to dismiss that, but now you can live in a world where you don't even have to do that. And so to all my friends that just despise social media, like, okay, go schmooze with your real estate agent. Go ahead. Go badger your local gallery that's struggling to survive. Go ahead. No thanks. We've gone to oil. Just like that. We went to oil just like that. I'll walk back the badgering the galleries a little bit. That's fine. Badger your galleries. We all got to do it. But I was saying earlier in another stream, like even the galleries have to put themselves out there. It's not like before too, like they have to play the game, the social media game, just like everybody else. Dance and turn around and spin their art. Even some of the big galleries are spinning art, playing the game. They have to. That's another debate as far as like whether that's good or not, but might just take away for this conversation is that if you can you can even use like a pseudonym for your art. You don't even have to be yourself. When I was out painting on the sidewalk, it's like, hey, that's that kid. Look at him. He's painting doodles on the sidewalk. Like, you're so exposed. Am I glad for the experience? Yes. Do I want to do that today? No. Would I do it again? No. I'd rather create like a fake account and post my arts, my scribbles and like absurdities, and I don't care, and then just try to grow and network with people that think like me, while I'm just painting in my room. Some people are really good at connecting and networking, and it's part of their art in a sense. Like they just have, like, they can tell stories, they can build tall tales around their work, and I was going through this when I painted this, and then, they're good at that. And I think that's a talent in itself. I'm not here to bash that. If you've got that gift of gab and can work a room and walk around and Now it kind of looks like that guy, McHaley, what's his name? From Community. Now it kind of looks like the Michaela guy, or from the guy from Oz. What's that guy's name? The Red Bandit. What do you got? 100 Days of Sodom. Yeah. Never watched the whole thing. I'm aware of it. I'm going to start some drawings on IG. Yeah. Calm, charismatic. Tyrone, do it. Get yourself out there. Doesn't hurt. You'll get sometimes you'll get some crap thrown at you, but for the most part, you'll be all right. I think one of the big things is the consistency. If you really find something you love doing and you do it whether people are looking at you or not, you'll get better at it. And then you can become to a place where you become undeniable. It might take a long time, but I think that would be the goal. Is like, hey, I want to become undeniable at something really good. And maybe not undeniable for everybody, but for like certain people that are into what you're doing, you just become a really, that kind of stuff takes a long time. And dare I say, years. But if you love it, then you want all the time in the world. You want that time. You want the time to get better, to get good at something, to become undeniable. If you're like, oh, I want to be great, and by this time next week, well, I don't think painting is the right method for that. There are some success stories that happen like that. Just got pure talent. They just have it in them and they just pop. That's not my story. I had to really work really, really hard to get any sort of headway. And I had to do it when there's no money coming in for a long time. And then you have to do it when there is money coming in and then no money coming in again. And just keep doing it anyway. Because you just love it. And then you can try to figure it out, like a problem solving. Okay, so now we're gonna just got a layer of oil on there. Gonna mix a skin tone. Not gonna use really any, normally I use medium like liquid. But the reason is because I kind of want to just finish this now. Remember, that was the whole objective from this whole stream. What can I do in one sitting? Within reason, like if it needs a little bit of work a little later today, that's fine. Make it good enough that you're proud to even give it away. You have to be able to like give it away where you have enough confidence that someone who gets it for free goes, oh, cool, this is great. Has to be at least that good. That's my bar for this piece. If I give it away or someone going, oh, cool, and they actually really like it, that's the bar. It's a low bar, man. So no pressure. No pressure. But still, this hand still looks like a fin. Like, see, with the oils, you can start getting really detailed micro strokes. Micro stroke. Maybe that's his name. Everybody, meet Micro Stroke. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Micro Stroke. Maybe he's got some longer hair? Maybe he's got some like weird eyebrows? Maybe he's got some green skin? What's happening to this person? To Phil McEnany. What's the guy's name from No One Answered Me? What's his name from not Oz, Community? Look at that. Oh no. Oh no. What is happening to me? Watching too many YouTube videos, bud. YouTuber. Look at me, I'm a YouTuber. Doctor, what is happening to me? Another case of streaming on YouTube, sir. What do you expect me not to stream anymore? Anyone? Phil McEnany. You guys aren't helping me with this guy's name. Mahaley, right? Mahaley. And what's that line? Eradicator. I think that's from Kids in the Hall. Anyone know Kids in the Hall? Eradicator. I have to look that up. There's a skit or something. Or the superheroes, or the character is like the Eradicator. Pretty sure it's Kids in the Hall. Well, let's go a little bit even. Let's go crazy here. We'll go really hard and then we'll have to save it. So that's kind of the trick here. Go really hard into the shadow. Go back to the Chandler Bing hair. You know who'd be another good character? Phil Dunphy. I've never painted Phil Dunphy or any of the Modern Family people. But again, the same idea applies when you just try to paint somebody as best as you can, just starting off with acrylics and like laying out their portrait, you come up with some ghoulish looking creatures. And it's a great way to like play from that. That would be my best advice from this video so far that I've said. It's worth saying again. Like, I stand behind this. Just try to paint Chandler Bing. Just try. Then you end up with this. And then and then the best part is like, this was my plan all along. So this is me setting out with a Chandler Bing on my iPad. I'll prove it to you. No, I can't. Fuck it. Anyways, I got a picture of Chandler Bing on my iPad. And then I try to paint it as best as I can. You end up with this monstrosity. And then you say, well, this was my plan all along. So if you did that with like Modern Family characters, Phil Dunphy, you'll end up with the same kind of monstrosities. Claire. Did you know that Claire was the same girl from Happy Gilmore? That blows my mind. Whatever happened to Veronica Vaughn? Did she do anything? Did she land a sitcom? Veronica Vaughn, anybody? Veronica Vaughn fans? It'd be a good painting. Veronica Vaughn. Same concept. Try to paint Veronica Vaughn as best as you can. Maybe give yourself a time limit. And then wherever it ends up, you just play from there. Now we'll probably give this character only kind of like, what's it, penguin hands. Like Penguin from the Batman. Danny DeVito fingers. That's probably our best option here. Probably got a tie here too. Kind of like, whoa. My tie's like whipping around because I'm in motion. We'll hit him with some googly eyes. Remember, he's like a streamer, right? Streamer on YouTube. He caught the disease. Must stream on YouTube. Eradicator. Oh, I'm surprised nobody knows Kids in the Hall. Nobody, like I'm that old, no one knows Kids in the Hall. The Eradicator, that's gonna drive me crazy. I'm the only one, so it's like it never even happened. Oh, his green is growing. His disease is spreading. That's not good. Maybe he's holding something. Go back to Chandler Bing. Paula, what's happening? So you see I'm sticking the shadow kind of on the left or on the right side here, my right, but not all the way. There's still some lightness over here. I think this will actually have to dry, but I'll be able to finish it today. So we'll give him a ghoulish little shadow here. Let's maybe add some red to keep with the purple. Even a little blue then to keep with the purple. Kind of shadows like over here. Whoa. Whoa. Grab a dry brush. This brush completely dry and just move, kind of diffuse it, blur it. If you don't really like it, which I don't, we'll just work it. Take that same dry brush, clean it off, make it partially dry. Now it's kind of like got some thinner on there, some mineral spirits, and you can pull off some of that shadow that you don't like. And it keeps a little tint behind, which is good. But I kind of want them on an angle, so let's see if we can fix that up. Dry your brush. Whoa. Let's grab a completely dry brush again, and let's take some of it away. Shadows for like a little painting like this just show intention, like it tries to add just like these little enhancements, like part of me is a maniac, part of me knows what I'm doing, part of me like has intention for the painting. We also may have to let it dry because I need to put my signature on it, and putting it around here now is not smart. Putting little strokes, micro strokes on wet paint is tough, so you kind of want to give it a little time to get tacky, if not touch dry. Mind you, it'll be tough because I haven't used much liquid with this piece. Let me see here, is this the brush to do that? So remember, this white is very wet, so you have to be aggressive in order to make anything happen. And we'll add some yellow to this green, and even a little bit of white. So then we're adding in a lot more intention on these eyes. This green glow around his eyes. So it's no longer just a mistake or a silly addition, but like the eyes are now becoming intentional by adding some depth. Maybe he likes hot dogs. Someone said he likes hot dogs. Great idea. Great idea, everyone. So he's got mustard stains. I don't think I'm going to add hot dogs. It was really close. Look at the hot dog color I made. I was damn close to adding some dogs into this painting. DJ micro strokes. Go back to this white. Kind of carve around. Get the eyes to where you want. Add some color here. There's some backlight happening here, that's cool. Kind of clean up this fin of a hand. Add some direction in that hair. But again, you gotta, when you have something like these white irises, you gotta like really get aggressive with the detail. Otherwise, nothing will take. It'll be a lot of back and forth until you get it right. When you're doing this alla prima stuff, it gets a little intense. So remember, about 20 minutes ago, I told you go really hard on the shadow, because then you can pull it back. But you don't want to keep adding, like go dark as pretty much as dark as it's going to get on his face. And then you can fix that up a little bit. These little micro strokes they're holding into the hair, it's good, go for it. Sometimes they don't hold because it's so wet. Everything's wet. But if the micro strokes are holding, go for it. We'll even add a little gray there. Let's go gray. Like gray, white, pepper, salt and pepper. If you put a little energy into the hair, it then adds validity to some of the other nonsense you have going on. Same with the ears in this case. The eyes will need to be worked on too. And then also some of this, try to make it, if you're not sure, go subtle, so don't go too dark on the shadow here. But there is shadow on the white shirt. There is shadow around his neck here. And there's even some lines, some little details in there. If you add too much, that's fine, we can go backwards. We'll add even a little heavy, let's find the heavier parts first before we go backwards. The eyes are what's bothering me the most because they've caused me the most challenge so far in the painting. So we're either going to abort mission, do something different. But we're going to try first to see if they. So you see, I'm not going pure white on these eyes. It's like a reddy gray. There's no nose yet. No, it was acrylic, and then it went to oils. We're in oil land now, but acrylic base. Then I jump over to oils. And shape some of the eye from the outside. Simon, you have to stop streaming. You can't keep streaming all the time. Simon, you must stop streaming. It's killing you. So fix up the nose. But as you can see, I still haven't really got the eyes where I'm going, where I want them. But that's, you can't, like, you have to take it in strides. Like, you have to hit it and then let it go, and then hit it and then let it go. You can't just stay there. You'll destroy yourself. You have to, like, touch it and move along. Especially if your brush isn't working with your mind. Like, there's certain times, right now I'm okay in that department, but sometimes my brush is just not doing what I need it to do. It's not matching what my expectations are. The brushwork's just not there. That's not really the case here. I feel pretty good with my brush and how it's working, how it's synchronized with what I'm trying to accomplish. But the eyes are not working, so you don't just attack them and finish them, especially with something so small. You might have a different game plan for a larger piece. But you see, I just have to touch it. I don't know, we're talking like a millimeter brush stroke here, but then move it along and come back to it. Let it sink in, let it breathe a little bit. So you see, now I immediately move around a little bit. Go back to the nose. The nose is non-existent. So you'll get some headway if you add some shadow. The under. In this case, kind of mid. Let's go back to Chandler Bing's face. Look at his nose. There you are. Maybe he's got some eyebrows. That's kind of might help his eyes a little bit. It's like a dark gray. There's a little brown in there. Whoa. Get his chin right. This isn't right. We might even have to make, oh, okay, let's get that purple. One second, I'm looking for an oxide dioxide
diazepam, marzipan purple. Let's go here, here, some white, a little red. How close did we get with a quick little mixture? 2 off. Let's try a little more white into this purple and red. It's fine for cutting, but it's not the color that I'm going to use. We'll add a little more red. Add a little more purple. Let me see if I can get closer. I'm going to try a different mix here. Shit. Oh my God. What a disaster. The red just stained all my shit. Okay. Red. And then white. Are we closer? I think so if you add some more white though. No. Okay, more red. More pink. Okay, there you go. See? Better. Mess with that shadow a little bit. You gotta remember, everything here is wet, as you can see with that black. I personally like when things have time to dry versus like a straight aggressive a la prima painting that takes like a couple hours. Instead of going like kind of black around the eyes, let's do this, use some of this purple. Let's give him like more of a he's kind of like shrinking into his clothes. It looks like a kid with a man face wearing his father's like suit. What does that mean? What's the meaning behind that? Remember, we're going to lighten up the suit. Going to use the same grainy, the same gray. see. Get your brush right. Don't get lost and forget to get your brush right. Maybe he's turning into a Ninja Turtle right before our very eyes. It's cool because I used to I get to a certain place in a painting, I spend a lot of time working on it, I'm attached to it, and then you make a few moves and you kind of lose what you had. And that phase is kind of where I stayed for a long time, where that would be, a really big concern. And I don't want to I really like these parts and I don't want to lose it, but it's not right, so it needs more work, but it's stressful because I don't want to wreck it. Then you come to a place, which really happens over time, where there's no limits. You can wreck it and you can bring it back. You can resurrect it. You can go in new directions. You can do anything you want. And then you get the confidence to not only believe in that, but also you have the confidence and the experience to take things in any direction and backpedal and change course. And I'm so grateful that's where I am at in my work today, where there's no such thing as mistakes anymore. Where in the past there was I wrecked it, it's gone. We changed, I really liked what you had and now it's gone and I can't bring it back. And then I try to bring it back, fail, and I try to bring it back and get a little closer, and you try to bring it back, you're like, okay, I brought it back a little bit. Then you get better at it and you're like, oh, I can bring it back anytime I want. Oh, we can take it over here. We can take it over there. And that's a really nice place to be as a painter. This eyebrow's too much. What we'll do is we'll just start blending his face a little more green. Just kind of into that these days. Just green face, YouTube streamer. Look at that. I did not see that coming. I did not see this coming. I just thought he's going to have a little mask or something. But nope. Joel McEnany. What's his name? McEnany. McKaylee. Joel McKaylee. Chandler Bing. Turned it into a little green goblin. Right before your very eyes. He always knew he was a little green goblin. He was just waiting for the day to transform. To find his... He's frightened but not surprised, right? It's not... He knew this transformation was coming. He was It's even hitting a bit of his ear. That eyebrow's a little better. Joel McHaley knew this day was coming. Looks like he might be shrinking a little bit too, because look, his body doesn't look like it's fitting his suit very well. Now I'm going back to a little bit of the skin tone to kind of really diffuse or blend in this green transformation. And then when it hits the dark shadows, obviously it gets a little darker, so we'll do that. We'll add a little purple in there, purple into the green, pull it over, just to make it a little more unified. But I do want some pretty harsh shadow here. I don't like that green separation anymore. I did like it, like this green around his eye, so we're going to hit it a little harder. And then carve it around here better. I don't even think there's much light, like it looks like there's light hitting there. No, it's going to be in the darkness. He streams on YouTube in the dark. Might even affect his eye, actually. His eye might get revamped. His eye is going to get mowed over right now, as a matter of fact. You've got the purple now for the background, so don't be afraid to let loose. Let's get even a little black into that purple and the green. So we got a little black, purple, and green happening here. I like that color a lot. So now we'll use it to do everything I need to do. Maybe it's like the Mask 4. Kind of looks like he has some problems, which is surprising. Okay, I told you we're going to mow over that. It looks like a young Harlan Williams. Maybe he has a microphone because he's on stage at the Laugh Factory. Not right now. It's just straight. There's some liquid, but liquid doesn't really help flow. It adds transparency. The best I'm gonna get is straight out of the tube with my mineral spirits, and then I mix it to different consistencies. But for right now, I want more pigment than mineral spirit or turpentine, because I want to really lay this on there and like lock it in. Because my objective for this painting today is to kind of wrap it up in like kind of a sitting if I can. So I'm using all the techniques in my arsenal to get this wrapped up in kind of one sitting. If I have to touch up his eyes and put my signature in later today, I will. I do like this green and this red mouth. So I'm going to really highlight that. I'm not sure what's going to happen with his eye. I thought I was mowing it over, but I'm not. Let's get a brown and black happening. I also have some obligations that I need to take care of today as well at some point. So I got to be aware of that. So I might have to come back to this, but I don't want this. This painting is set out. So because there's an objective in like a time frame happening, the way that I paint is being affected, and the way that I'm applying the paint is like, I'm like working off a strategy. And it's very alla prima, because everything is wet at this point. And you really do want to go from dark to light. So that's like, even though there's paint on here, but it's like kind of like, okay, I'm going dark to light again. Getting my darks in here. Oh, a little bit of Two-Face I see. Get my purple, my dark purple, get my dark black, my green. Figure out this eye. He's got a little crease in his mouth or his nose, like upper lip crease. So I got a little crease under the chin. But I really like this red mouth with the green, so let's keep that. Decide what you're gonna keep, what you're gonna fix or mold or shape. He does have brows, but I don't think it's gonna be a standard brow like Millhouse brows. For good measure, Millhouse brows always take the win. So let's even go harder on the Millhouse brows. Like the straight out purple Millhouse brows. Like what? He looks angry, disheveled. Let's keep that ear flesh color. Let's add a little flesh color like in his face, like Joker. You know when Joker, his paint starts running, you can see a bit of his face, and this is where he's very animated. But more flesh color then, if you're going to bring out Joker face, like the Joker face. Right, you can see some of his skin bleeding through the makeup, but it's not makeup, it's a disease that's spreading. So he's really like confused. So maybe this disease isn't covering the entire face yet. Let's go harder on that purple. We'll exaggerate it even further. Meaning I want you to see it over here so you can tell like it's a brow. The brows don't need to be aligned by any stretch, but they do need to be. Oh, what was that? That was silly. That's called my brush wasn't right. So the mix that I made. You just work with it. So this is what I was talking about, exaggerating this brow, because it might be. It doesn't have to be accurate, it just has to be good. Let's see if we can fix up this eye now. It's been I haven't touched it for a while. And if you've been watching the stream at all, you'll see that when you're painting alla prima, like things need to sit and you need to work around. You can't just like focus on one thing, especially at this size. You have to hit, because we're talking like millimeter brush strokes. I'm really focused and go. You see that? Like, and then now you can't keep going. You have to like hit it, get in the right mindset. We're talking millimeter brush strokes. This is too white already even before I paint. But I need to like really shape this eye. Is it gonna stay or not? I'm not sure. Love the red and the green. So let's work on that. Let's make it a little more. Maybe he's kind of like wearing lipstick from time to time, and you know, who knows? This is what happens when you stream on YouTube though. So beware. Oh yeah, like, whoa, it's happening. It's happening. You took my chair. He was at the library and someone took his chair. And there's other chairs, but he wants that one, you know? I don't know why he has those hands. Now everything is collapsing on me. Remember, it started as Chandler Bing. It's not, I told you, you're going to get this kind of stuff. When you just paint, you try to paint something as best as you can. You take a character from Friends, try to paint them as best as you can. And then what you end up with when you do that is a monstrosity. And that's exactly what we wanted, isn't it, folks? It's exactly what we wanted. What's happening? What did you do to me? That's make his like hair not even receding further. He's shrinking into his father's suit. He's casting for the Mask 5. That'd be funny. Who's the guy that played in the sequel to The Mask? That wasn't Jim Carrey. Is his name Kennedy? Jamie Kennedy? Is that who played The Mask like 3 or Mask 2? What they should do is a mask where they take Jim Carrey and Jamie Kennedy. And this is what the character that they end up with. Put them in a blender. Put them in a blender. Kind of like that eye. We're going to go a little harder in the shadow again. I'm going to bring my purple, black, and green. So it's not all black, it's not all purple, it's not all green. Somewhere in between. And if it rhymes, it's true. So we got like a dark green. I would call this like a deep forest black. But the reason is you want to, especially with this Ala Prima game, you want to hit these now. Even there's some shadow under the brows. Maybe the brows are like floating like a cartoon. Get back to your black forest. Maybe there's some little creases in the forehead. Some shading under that nose. Keep those lips, those red lips, and the green is kind of what's making this painting for me right now. The shriveled hands in the suit are fine. But the red and the green is what's really speaking to me. You kind of maybe think I'm not joking. Like that's the only thing that's really keeping this painting alive right now. Oh wow, his hair's coming down. Maybe he's got like a Misfits haircut. I think he does. Let's put some highlights in his hair. Kind of cartoonish style, illustrator style, probably not realistic, but it shows some intention, and it shows like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I want this. What you're looking at is something that I actually want. Remember, we just walk around, work around the piece, hit those eyes. He's got salt and pepper hair, which I mentioned about an hour ago. And when you see the strokes not sticking, it's because everything's wet. Let's hit it with a hard green, like let's go a little bit neon. Let's break up the green a little bit. Brighter. Again, shows some intentionality with the face, like what's going on here. Watch. Be gentle. Dry your brush off a little. You don't want too much mineral spirits. We can clean up some of that shadow that is just a little too much. Looks like his brows are floating though. His chin maybe goes up a little more. Harder, go harder. Yes, sir. You're picking out your standard, like, I think it's like referred to it as the T in your face. So you have your like highlights in a T zone. Someone can teach you better than me on that. But when you look at a face, there's like a T zone where the brows of the eyes, where the light is going to hit the most. So the T. Definitely don't come here for tips. It's just a wild guy with a disease that is spreading. He wants you to listen to his mixtape while he shrinks into his father's suit. All on the back of Chandler Bing. Let's see here now. Let's go harder on that purple, make it more clear. Running out of steam. Yeah, that purple's nicer. It's a little cleaner. Like I want violet. Violet, violet. Keep that, a few. What are a few tracks on the mixtape? Carrie. The shine on the air just transform the whole painting. Yeah, bring shine, my friend, shine. Okay, let's do something there then. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play a little more. I think you can do that with a few things. Same with this ear. If I put some energy around the ear, it can make the things like even like his wonky little hands can bring everything into some sort of an agreement, an understanding that you're trusting me, that I know what I'm doing. If you put some energy into the ears, the hair, and some of the like you pinpoint some of these features, like you'll see some brilliant artists, especially from the past, they'll highlight certain areas and like they'll put a lot of details like on certain elements of the face. So how they would describe it most likely is like certain things are in focus, whereas other things are out of focus. I kind of take that same principle, whereas like I paint some things with some precision, and then you're allowed to let some other things go to hell. If you can accomplish that, that's at least the objective. Like that's the mission. Get some things in, make some things super tight, super clear, super not only recognizable but well executed, and then it gives you permission to be a loose ball. And it allows you to really play with your ideas a little bit further. Because if nothing's recognizable, it's all abstract, it's all nonsense, it's not, you lose actually, believe it or not, some of your message, or at least I do. So I've been going at this piece now for almost an hour and 40 minutes. Straight. And that's what we'll do is again, see that dark crease around his eye, around this eye here, like this dark crevice. Let's just do that again. Maybe we'll even go a little heavier into the black. Clean your brush, get it right, because we're going to do some fine work here. We'll hit the iris again, or the pupil, sorry. Remember, we work around it all the time. Come back to it, work around, come back to it. Can't attack the eye all in one setting or one little session, mini session, because everything's wet and it's really small. You gotta let things breathe as much as possible. But actually this black is for here. Maybe he's kind of got like an anus mouth or a clown mouth. Very animated. Not sure if on purpose or not. Got some shadow under that brow. James Dean hair all of a sudden. So let's give him those James Dean burns then. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Add some depth by going backwards on the suit. So we went dark on the suit, on the shirt. Now bring it up, back up. Down here is actually okay, but we'll just pick a few areas where it's brighter. And we'll use this white again. We'll try the eye again. I don't know if it's just like a highlight or if I'm still sculpting. We'll find out. We're talking millimeter brush strokes, folks. Millimeter brush strokes. I think he's drooling, like most of my other creations, but we're going to go a lime green drool. I think he's got some teeth too. Oh, that drool came together really nice. Last piece it did not. Oh, now he's zombie. Whoa. He went over to zombie right quick. That's good. Well, now hey, zombie. He's got little teeth too. Zombie Chandler Bing. Aww. Okay, we're gonna work with that. I like that eye. So I'm gonna actually go for a highlight. Let's see if we can accomplish that. It's tough because it's so wet. It's just like wet on wet on wet, and you need the right amount of pigment to make a mark, because otherwise you won't get any results at all if it's too thin. So I got a nice load on that, and then let's hit it. Na, 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 na. I did something. Is it what I really wanted? Not sure yet. Let's see. Let's try it again. See if I can hit the same spot, like a pinpoint. Literally. Yeah, that's cool. I'm proud of that. Yeah, wow. Let's hit those lips. Let's hit that teeth. Hit the nose. Like this is almost pure titanium white. Almost. There's a little tint in it, but it's basically 98% titanium white with a little thinner. It's mixed in some green in all fairness. So maybe 90%. Let's go back to my skin color. Like I said, if you get that ear right, you're granted more permission to be foolish. I'll try to say this a bunch of different ways, because if I can pull off the ear where it looks semi-realistic, it's well done, it's executed well, you are then granted permission in some of the other areas of the painting that you want to leave in a not abstract, but just kind of like surreal way. So in order to get that permission, you need to make some of the features and some of the elements really cohesive, well executed. Because then it grants kind of these certain things. Let me see here. Gotta fix this up. Get your brush right. So there's like a shadow under the brow, but really make that clear. There's a little backlit thing happening here. You can accomplish this if your brush is right. Like my brush is a pinpoint. It's pinpoint right now. Pinpoint. Look at it. It's like it's literally like 2 bristles thick. 2 bristle. Still like that lip. I don't want to lose it, but I want it to be even more ruby red. So to get ruby red, you want neon pink, which I got. Neon pink. I don't know how to have that. Let's go neon pink. And then like a it's not scarlet. I think it's, I'll tell you the actual name in a second. This is like cherry red, aka cadmium red deep hue. But you go neon pink and cadmium red deep hue. Just cadmium red's fine. No medium, very little thinner. Clean off your brush, get it right so it's dry. Let me attack this mouth. You see that red? That I did accomplish the red I want. Almost the same amount of precision as you were using for the eyes, because I told you my favorite part of this painting is the way that he has red lips with the green face. In fact, like, I'm okay if they kind of get out of bounds here, because I like the red with the green a lot. And like, in fact, it makes me think about more paintings like it, where he's got red around the eyes. Interesting. Get back to clean your brush. Just putting that red into the, now it looks kind of like a comic book from the 50s, like the kind of zombie 50s look. James Dean. Just want to see anywhere else I can add this red. Just like it. Did add some liquid because I can brush it on like a translucent layer to some of these other areas. Just make the skin look a little more alive. Matthew Perry to Luke Perry. Yeah. Let's hit this. Let's try this purple hair again. Let's see if I'm gonna put a little more energy into seeing if I can get a little stronger purple. I want violet. Kind of the same outcome. It's a little brighter though. Can we use it anywhere else? No. To be honest, no. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 steps to get to the actual step that you need to do. So I've been thinking about the green even before I was putting on the violet. But you need to kind of like keep track on your thoughts. Keep your thoughts. Almost have them in like into the, you're like scheduling them, but you can't forget. It has to come. Usually you can't forget because you just see it. You see like a problem that needs to be fixed. Let's add some yellow. Into the green. Let's clean up. That shadow's not right, so let's just kind of tone it down. DJ Scribbles. Let's put a little life into his ear. A little color. I probably should get an ear reference just to help me out. A little darker. More. Remember, I want that Joker skin, that bleeding through. Pushing, pulling, adding, subtracting. Miss Carrie. Adding and subtracting. I think there needs to be, just for it to really land, it needs to be a little bit more depth. So you see here around the eye, these shadows underneath the mouth. Go with that same precision almost as the eye here. Hit that shadow under the brow. Pull the shadow in around the head. It's starting to look very comic booky, which is, I don't care. It's fine. Let's hit the side of the mouth here. Just feel like this deep shadow is a little bit lonely. I'm just trying to look, even at a normal portrait where there's like a little bit of depth, indentation. Definitely there. And let's hit right at the crease of the nose and the cheek. Let's see here. maybe even a little over here. So when you add like the darkest values and the highest values, that's where you get your depth in the painting. So the more variations of that, the deeper the painting gets. So if you just have like 3 colors, like middle, mid, bright, and dark, you're only going to get so much value. But once you start breaking those down, you'll get a lot more nuance and depth in your work. I'm going to hit that drool again and the teeth for good measure. I'm going pretty hard on the white. It's a little purple. Pinpoint brush, millimeter strokes. A little more detail there. Hit the hair for you, Carrie. I'm just going to hit which features will be, need my glasses, hang on. Which features will be emphasized on Mr. Magoo? I think just the cheekbones, and then we'll probably call it. I think I'm good. So I'm fine with not touching the hair. The skin is just a disaster. The ear needs maybe a little bit, one more go. So some kind of like a dark rose color. Dark rose color. I think actually what we'll do just to spice it up is because it's me, is we'll do this to make it stupid. But get enough paint on there to make sure you can do something stupid, but really commit. Really commit. I told you I just really love that green and red. It's really what this whole painting's about, is these different little shades of green mixing with the reds. and commit and be stable, not stable, focused. I'm just going to quickly look at an ear one more time. I have another ear right here that's a little more defined. Just for, again, I really believe in what I was saying earlier. Like if you define certain features with a decent amount of execution, it then justifies a lot of the rest of the painting, like the hair and the ear. If I really kind of pull that together, I then am allotted some grace and some liberties to make other things look scrambled and confused. And I think that's just a good technique for how to accomplish like surreal work. Because everything can't be abstract. There has to be some rhyme and reason for this kind of painting to work. But back to what you were saying, Carrie, like what needs to be highlighted, we'll do that right now. Let me go back to over here. But you can see like in real time how I jump around so rapidly, so aggressively, and I just love that. It's something that might drive other people crazy, but for me, it's kind of what I love. It's how I love to paint. Jump around. I'm not going, it is pretty bright, but it's not like white bright. It's just a little brighter, picking out some areas. Little pinpricks. Calm some things down, brighten some things up, hit that nose. Now the nose is pretty defined. It's good. Hit that chin. Maybe there's some back shadow, backlighting here. Nice. Nice. One more time on my ear. It's never black in the ears, ever. It's dark purples, reds, browns, blues. It's not, you're never putting black into an ear. Even in the little ear holes, it's not black. You might look it, it's not. One more time on the highlights. Yeah, I'm happy because, so actually we are going to do my signature because I want to call this. So let's see if we can get my signature in there. This should be dry enough to paint in. So far, so good. Get your brush right. This is, we're talking as thin as I can go with this brush. Very happy with that. Sometimes the signatures in this, on these scales, on this small scale, are tough. What time is it? Oils. Mellow. Damn, so much more 3D. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna, once I put on these highlights, I'm gonna dip, so it might happen pretty rapidly because I gotta call my mom. So let me go back to my Chandler Bing. Chandler Bing portrait. and just look at where the highest points are. There's actually not much going on in the forehead, surprisingly. So we'll just take the cues on that. We are into the whites here of the highlights. So remember, we went really deep in these low lights, in these shadows. We went deep. So we'll go pretty bright on these highlights here. The chin's being lit a little bit from underneath. I think there's some crease highlight, like in the crease where it meets. That was very subtle. And you can determine, is it too subtle? Yes, I think so. And we'll give it another little highlight around there. We'll give it another cheek highlight. Sometimes less is more, and sometimes more is more with highlights. You kind of determine that through trial and error. I think with this, like the nose getting hit is fine, the cheekbone getting hit, and a little bit on the top of this forehead. And a little bit on that chin again, maybe a little bit on the upper lip. That's very subtle, but I like it. There is the nose bridge here. And last but not least, we'll do this. This is just stylistic choice, but as if some lighting is coming from the back and just hitting the side of the face, even some of the side of the hair there. And can we get down there like that? And hit that hair one more time. Coming down, there you go, and hit here. Good, because I'm also all out of steam. Anything else? I think we will do one last mark. Melody Prov, cheers. Appreciate you. I'm going to jump off this stream now after I put this little mark, but nice to meet you. It's a little wet, as you can see. Just going harder in that green. Maybe tidy up. No, I'm kind of losing it. My time here is done. Reanimator reminds me of something like a reanimator. Oh, I want to do one more. Never ends. Just never ends. But I think this is a lot. Let me do one more. Something here. And something here. And something there. See you guys. That's it. Out.